Is there a conspiracy in our food consumption? Is it geopolitical? Is the medical system out to get us, or is there something else at play?
So I think it's an accidental conspiracy. I think that what happened was as the world population started growing very quickly in the early 1900s, and we started struggling with food shortages through World War One and Two, they had to send meat to the front lines, and they didn't have the capacity or the finances to really do it, right? So what they started doing was promoting cheaper calorie diets and moving us from what is, I think, with a smaller population, a lot more easy to manage and more meat heavy diet to, hey, have your Kellogg's cornflakes, have your grains, cheap calories, and eat your vegetables, because they're trying to save the food for the frontline soldiers. And this is well documented, by the way. There's tons of propaganda that happened during World War II where people were told to eat their vegetables and the governments were pushing that. But after World War II, what happened was now you've got inflation, because now it's post-war spending and the governments have to rebuild. And meat was obviously part of the inflation index, right? So it's becoming expensive. But hey, if you have vegetables with your meat, it's going to become cheaper. And those companies, it's big agriculture, Kellogg's, the whatever, these companies benefited from that. So they want to keep the status quo. And so just generation after generation, this just became an accidental conspiracy where now there's so much profit in providing us with low cost and cheap calories, that they want to keep that going. And then the pharmaceutical companies are like, well, hang on, we can go through the whole Ansel Keys and Harvard's sugar debate, but like all the stuff that's making people sick, let's blame saturated fats, which I've tested on my own body. Saturated fats, my workouts are way better on saturated fats because there's just more energy contained in the actual chemical bonds when it releases. Like there's more energy in a saturated fat, and so they started targeting saturated fats, and they started giving margarine or whatever else, and they started putting on statins. So like it's just one thing after another that puts people hooked onto this like broken system, and then we get the ultra processed goods. Like I know we don't have a lot of time to go into all the details of what I think about this, but I think that the simple answer here is let's go back to basics. And what the movie is about is saying what is our primal like ancestral diet for us as a species, as an animal. Okay. What would we eat if we were out in the wild with none of this infrastructure around us? And we've been very good at creating societies and making things convenient and whatnot. So even like experimenting with fasting and whatever else, like I've dropped 30 pounds since I've been on carnivore, 35 pounds, and I'm still losing weight on it. I actually noticed that I put on weight when I deviate off carnivore. So for the most part, I'm just staying strict carnivore